just get into it. Miami Hate Week, big rivalry week, month of rivalries. We got Miami versus Florida State. Um, it sucks when the rivalry doesn't mean anything. And not really, but it kind of does. When I grew up, this game meant something. Oh, shout out. Yeah, shout out to my boy Skip Dickman, I think is his name on or that's Brandon. Brandon's a professional hater. Love it. That's my guy who I go to the DR with. He got me this cool, I don't know, can they see this? This cool Keon Coleman sweatshirt. And you got my guy right here, stiff arming. I'm about to start being like Trey. At the hotel, they were like, Are you Keon's father? I'm like, I don't think so, but I'm not gonna like I mean, that'd be a hell of a kid to be able to claim as your own. Like, what if I found out this? You're my long lost dad. Like, shit, I'm cool. I take that one. You don't want the kid that's a loser. You want the kid that's amounted for something. What up? What up? Welcome, Aaron Cobb. Shout out to George. I think George was a member already. I think he must have just re-upped. I don't know. You tell me, George, if that's the truth. Wednesday. Make sure y'all tell everybody. Them tickets is crazy right now. They're selling tickets for $250 or more from for the Miami game. If you want to win tickets, if members can put their name down at any given point, Miles, we got to make sure on Wednesday, people who are not members, you only got the first 30 minutes of the show to say you want to win the tickets. So your ass better be in that bitch early, and you got to listen to the whole show. Because if you don't say you got it, then you ain't got it. We're gonna trap you, you bastards. Or pay the $3.99 and do it whenever you want to. I could probably get tickets to the SWAC championship, Charles, but that's the same weekend as the ACC championship. So, but Miami FSU this weekend, we got a tailgate, major tailgate going on, lot 19. We're trying to get over. I would love to have 300 people at it. I believe we're at about 50 bought. Don't come asking me about a discount on the damn tickets tomorrow. After tomorrow, the price of a brick is going up. Y'all know how this works. Buy the damn tickets early so that we can go ahead and purchase what we need to purchase. Go to my pin suite. You can go there. You can go check out Sporadics or check out my brother CJ Wilson. Whatever you need, whatever you need to do, it's there. So my whole weekend in Pitt was messed up because I was supposed to be back yesterday, missed my flight, so I could not do. But actually, before we get into the Pitt, can you click on the next one? I did a good thing. We all know about Jack. You'll probably be hearing more about Jack coming here in the next coming weeks. But I really feel like I failed Jack, and I think Ruby Rose did a lot more for her Make-A-Wish person. And apparently, this guy's in a wheelchair, and it looks like he saw some titties, and or at least felt some, or felt a good ass. And Ruby Rose definitely is blessed in that department. Really should have took that young lady up that said that she's willing to show him whatever he needs to see. But I didn't. So, shout out to Sandra. Appreciate the $5. Also, real quick, Son's trying to raise money for the Snitch Patrol. Anybody wants to go buy popcorn or donate money to Trey as he's trying to do some stuff. I think he's like $100 off from his total to raise money for his for him going to DC in May. So on that note, I was in Pittsburgh, missed my flight, so I didn't have my computers and stuff. So we will still do our breakdown. The breakdown will be more of a me also talking about the overall game and how stuff went. So if you want to check us out at 1:00, that'll be the time. It'll post at 6 p.m. Live. It will be on StreamYard. So you got to go to the YouTube community so you can see the StreamYard. Close that door right there, Miles. But just some things about sports. For sports that are dying, a lot of people are saying football's losing and people have been boycotting. I just want you guys to know Americans suck at boycotting. And this is going to tie into something that I saw going down. It's cool to see the two rival fan bases that I discussed in here in shambles. But we'll talk about that here in a second. But for those who don't know, CBS has sold out of the 2024 Super Bowl already. The average cost for a 30-second spot is $7 million. For reference, 2015, less than a decade ago, it was 4.25 million. Like, Super Bowl ads are iconic. We've always seen some of the cool ones. That's where we saw the Coca-Cola commercial where he throws the jersey at the kid. The kid trades it in for a Coke. Wendy's had a commercial. The Apple Weird commercial came out in '84. Michael Jordan's Nike Airs came out there. The Budweiser frogs, all the different things. Remember, it was back in the day when we used to like critique commercials. Like, that was really an event. People didn't even watch the game. They watched the halftime show and they watched the commercials. But that's one of those cool things. And I always say this, the reason why is Rome needs its gladiators. And for whatever reason, and I'll put this poll out here for you guys for you to think about. Do y'all really think, you guys as fans, do y'all really think you dictate how much money gets spent when it comes to sports? Or do you know? And this comes from Jacquez Green, basically getting into an argument with some idiot and some fans and telling them to stop bitching and crying about losing the football game. Terrence Banks puts, while watching Twitter, telling Jacquez Green he ain't angry enough about UF football. Imagine fans, some who didn't attend, telling a Hall of Fame player he ain't mad enough. Some of y'all wasn't even Gator fans when the dude from Peach County came to Gainesville. And I don't know if y'all realize, I don't know if you know who Jacquez Green is or not, Miles, but Jacquez is that dude. Like, he was that motherfucker. Like, I hated Jacquez as an FSU fan growing up. But him, Quez, Riddell Anthony, like, they were like basically the wide receivers that made Spurrier era. And for fans to go at him, but like, I'm gonna read what one of the fans said. They're like, it's gonna be us as long as I'm spending money on the school. Stop spending money and see if they notice. Like, people don't realize 2020 didn't do anything to stop sports athletics. Like, literally no fans were allowed in stadiums. And you know why they play? And I remember Denny arguing with me. I said, Denny, they're gonna play these games. And he was like, why do you think that? It's because it's capitalism. They are not gonna lose this fucking money. They're gonna pay these guys these bills. $90 million gets paid to the University of Florida, whether a fan shows up. Do you realize you probably make about you net about $3 million a game if you're lucky, if the stadium is full. It's not the money that you think. And the one guy who really goes on, and he is Feezy. He's like, really, bro? Fans still spend money. If fans flat out stop spending money and watching, would there be a league? And I said, boy, buy a hot dog and think he a bull gator. He was going ham. He was getting it in. And then this is when you know you've won. But he Googled Jacquez Green's NFL career. Now, Jacquez played through a contract and had about 2,500 yards receiving, if I'm correct. And Buddy said called him a bust. And you know how cool Quez is? All Quez said is, now Google yourself. And let me see what you got. Let me see what you did. It's hard when you're telling people, like, to be as cool as Jacquez is life goals. And Jacquez is one of those guys who's like, man, I've lived the life that you're watching. And he just does it so well. Mike Hall put he is 20. I've seen Feezy go back and forth with other people. And I look at him and it's just wild. But he had time. He had time that day. It's funny when you see guys have time. Appreciate the dad guy becoming a member. Loving the profile pic. I don't think Mike Hall puts Jacquez the head coach of Manatee. I don't think we were getting He used to be the head coach. He used to be the offensive coordinator at Gabi when they were good, and we were getting cats from Gabi. So I don't think that has anything to do with it. So, but Quez going in, it just makes me wonder, like, do people understand how marketing works and how media ad buy? Like, the main money comes in the media. Like, I like you guys being members, and I'm encouraging you to do that. Love super chats, love all these different things. The money comes from the marketing check more than anything else. We got some major announcements here as well coming up. Not sure if you guys are aware of this, but um, the Sassy Savage, not Sassy Savage, he's not savage at all. I know RJ Young is a little disappointed. Not to be confused with RJ Saunders, who's in the chat right now. With his second loss, the Oklahoma Sooners are now eliminated from playoff contention. Do you think he's got anything where he's talking about how I just don't believe the Oklahoma Sooners are for real? By the way, I saw a dude look just like RJ was working at the hotel I was at, just as sashaying and sassy and as fruity as he wanted to be, just living his fruit. But I'm so happy. I don't even have a beef with Oklahoma. I hate Oklahoma because of him. Like, that's why my beef. Like, Oklahoma has gained an enemy because of one of the guys who covers them. Also, on this day, 6 years ago, guys, 6 years ago, Florida State was going through a tumultuous breakup with what we thought was the baddest bitch that we could ever get. I mean, this bitch was bad. We were trying to cake her. And you know what she did? She left us for a dude with more money and seemingly a bigger dick. But to find out, she got herpes from him and syphilis and all kinds of other stuff. And that chick is Jimbo Fisher. 6 years ago, Texas A&M thought they had pulled their heist of the century by taking Jimbo Fisher from Florida State. They snatched her from us. And we had to go through some bad, ooh, man, our rebound bitch was, did not go. She wasn't ugly. Just didn't work out for us with Tag. But man, imagine this. 6 years ago, Florida State lost the coach that took them to a national championship in the first ever college football playoff. Everybody thought that was the end of Florida State and the beginning of Texas A&M. For Texas A&M to probably not be bowl eligible this season again, and Florida State on the verge of making the college football playoff and winning the ACC championship. This is why I tell people sometimes you didn't fumble her, you punted her. And this is proof that Florida State just had to punt him. Man, Miguel, shout out to my guy White Mike. Well, let's talk about the Pitt game a little bit. There's a lot of people don't ever use my phrases against me. I had somebody tell me that Florida State game, that was just bad. 24-7 victory, Florida State. 3 scores better. I was wrong. I'm a little mad at Mike, though, because I shouldn't have been wrong, right? Mike did you see him, Miles? No. We had every fucking should have covered. Do you know what Mike did? He tried to let him do it, but then it got like 30 seconds. This motherfucker let the clock run out on the 1 yard line. All we had to do was score, bro. Oh no! And we would have covered. Oh, extreme. Well, the stats. No, somebody's mad that because they bet because they probably listened to me, and I said parlay the over, and we're covering. And I was wrong, but I was right. And a lot of FSU fans are like, I've never seen more people more miserable off of success. Like we are the most ornery 9-0 team in America. We're always complaining about what everybody else has to say. We don't do enough. Let me see if my guys got this. Oh shit, this really sucks. So I said, these are all the things that I said you got to do. I did say we would score on special teams. We didn't. I said Jay Trav would be over 300 yards. He was. I said Trey Benson would be over 100 yards. You know what Trey Benson had? 97. I said take the over. I said take the points. But I knew it was going to be a weird day to how it started. When I was on the plane riding in first class, those white people, and you guys are terrible people, some of y'all are picking on these are good people. These are good pilgrims. I met the quarterbacks. These are football parents because he's from Canada. He's from Canada, and he went to Penn State first, transferred to Pittsburgh, and he went to school in Maryland. And these people were flying up to come see him. Now his name is like I don't even know how to say it. It's Christian something with a V. You know what I told those good people? Moderate success to your son. I wish him just good enough to lose. And he played actually pretty good. 15 to 35, considering 244 yards in the air, one touchdown. Should have had two. Hit us with a bomb, man. I'm talking about 82 yard. Then one of our guys, got caught up in the play action. We brought pressure, didn't get to him. And then when our guy Fitzgerald Cypress, who everybody was cussing because he gave up a touchdown against Duke, actually saved the touchdown. He actually stripped the guy as he was about to walk into the end zone. And then the ball goes into the end zone, and then he's able to fall on it, and it's a touchback instead of a touchdown. That was in the first quarter. For Florida State to go and drive down that next drive and be held to no points. Florida State did not start off hot. Neither team scored in the first quarter. Pitt struck first, going up top on I believe it was Renardo Green, giving up our first passing touchdown in I think in the last 4 games. Our fourth passing touchdown of the year in 9 games. But then Florida State went on to score 24 unanswered points. Now, 24-7 is not what the score should have been. But people were saying our offense wasn't any good. And here's what the numbers suggest is that you're full of shit. Florida State had 501 total yards of offense. Sorry, offenses don't get 501 yards of total offense. Sorry, offenses do not hold the ball, possess the ball for almost 35 minutes. We had 1 turnover. There was a fumble by Todd Philly when we were driving. Everything that we did was plus. We almost had 10 yards per pass, and we almost averaged 4 yards per rush. Florida State dominated that game in every aspect, except for it did not show up on the scoreboard like it should. Facebook groups, everybody was discussing this stuff. Do you know what somebody actually said to me? James, the standard is this. What happened to the standard being the standard? I said, damn, you used my own bar against me. And this is what I said to him. If the standard is more than 500 yards of total offense, we are delusional. That is a lot of offense. We'll get to that. Now, I'll say this, and this is the other thing. I would have changed a lot of my predictions, Miles, had I known Keon Coleman wasn't going to be playing. Keon Coleman didn't play. Johnny Wilson didn't play. Hakeem Williams didn't play. Destin Hill, one of our wide receivers, got 1 leg. He's hobbled. We literally have 4 of our top wide receivers out. But our offense put up 501 yards with 4 of your – it's like I tell people, it's a reason they're starters. Somebody says, oh, the offense doesn't work as well when you can't just scramble and throw it to Johnny Wilson and Keon Coleman. Bitch, that's the luxury of recruiting. Like, that's like saying, like, if something happens to J Trav, I know our offense is going to look a little bit different. It's a reason why they're the starters. Starters start for a reason. And then my problem with our fan base is that they look, well, we're going to have trouble when we play Georgia. Are we? Will we? Have you watched the Georgia game? Have you watched anybody else's football games for that matter? Don't worry. I'll show you their box score. Georgia versus Missouri. I feel we're just as good as Missouri, if not better. That's me being facetious. We're better than Missouri. Missouri was winning 7-3 in the first quarter. The game was tied 10-10 at half. Then Georgia scored 21 points in the second half to prove their dominance. They scored 14 in the third. Okay, that doesn't do it for you. I get it. Whatever. People thought you thought Notre Dame was better. That's one of their Notre Dame literally struggled with Clemson the entire time in the loss. Okay, my bad. Number one team in the nation, Rutgers. This is should be a better example, right? Before Ohio State broke it apart, Rutgers was winning 9-7 at half. Then they took it over in the second half, much like what Florida State did. The games were never out of control. The teams were moving the ball. Everybody has this game every now and then. You've got to stop putting the pussy on a pedestal of the other schools. That's basically what they're doing. To quote 40-year-old version, you're putting the pussy on a pedestal. Like 6 years ago, we would never be in this. We never thought we would be in this. You should. My key to Florida State fans. Here's what I need you guys to do. Before you watch every game, play Dreams and Nightmares. Don't play the whole song. Just play the first part. I used to pray for times like this, to rhyme like this, so I had to grind like that, to shine like this. In a matter of time I spent on some locked up shit, and then stop, and then go back. I used to pray for times like this, to rhyme. We used to pray for times like this, where we weren't going to lose. Even in Jimbo's era, we lost to these teams, to the stupid teams. But like, Grillmaster brings up a phenomenal point. Ohio State was struggling, and they have Marvin Harrison Jr., the best wide receiver in the nation, not named Keon Coleman. Like, just vibe. Now, what I will get into in my film breakdown is I do have questions about our short yardage offense, and we did call some questionable plays. And you can't critique those things because we should be executing a little bit more. But context matters. Like, especially when I believe Keon Coleman was playing all the way up until he wasn't. So when you've practiced a certain amount and people have not gotten those 1 reps, it's different. Everybody doesn't get the same amount of reps in practice, guys. Yes, it should be next man up. But
it's not going to save from the sting of a loss. Enjoy the wins while you can, because, predicting problems doesn't lessen the blow.
That's what it seems like people are trying to do. They're trying to self-sabotage so that they feel better when it happens. Yeah. Stop it. Enjoy. Breathe in the success. Because you know what? I think some of you guys will want the loss so that you can say, see, I told you that was going to come to bite us in the butt. Or you'd rather have an exciting loss, which to me is ass of 9, ass of 10, ass 11, all the asses. Imagine if Miami fans were never cocky. They'd have nothing right now. Well, we're going to get into them. You could be a Miami fan right now. Congratulations to Miami fans for allowing another team to become bowl eligible in North Carolina State. North Carolina State, who does not have a quarterback, beat them. Miami, who was in scoring position numerous times, just couldn't get it in.
They went from having a quarterback who was supposed to be a high draft pick to like nobody knows. Like, he got the yips, which is only.
That's what I told people this last year, and they got on me. But we're gonna get to Miami. Just give me a second. We're gonna get to them in a second. Trey Benson is only 359 yards away from 1,000 yards rushing, and everybody is saying he's regressed. He at this point last year, he didn't have this many yards. That's the one we want to play, because this was a thing of beauty when he actually broke this long run. If we could show this. And it's just crazy.
First and 10 from the 45.
People have said Jordan Travis has regressed. He's got one of the best QBRs and one of the highest percentages completion in the nation. Now they're saying Trey Benson has regressed. And Trey Benson is literally on par for what he did last year. I think you should be quiet. Like, I think y'all should, like, this is I don't blame you. I blame video games, rap music, and I always tell people I can tell who you listen to on a day-to-day basis based upon how you receive your information. And it's absolutely infuriating because never mind, I can't say that word, but it's bad.
You should be quiet.
And Brandon Lynn puts, if anything is requested, it's the offensive line. Play this, and I'm going to tell you why you're wrong, B. Lynn. And I love you. You know I love you. Go ahead.
First and 10 from the 45.
Benson up the middle. The brick first through. 30, 20. It's not good. Into the end zone. Florida State.
Let me do that. Over 200. You're not supposed to be that big.
First and 10 from the 45.
Benson up the middle. The
Now,
brick first through.
Coach AB, and I think Coach AB does one of those shows too, but he says, want to piss everybody off. I'm 2 drives into the rewatch, and the offensive line looks real good. Trey missed the cut outside on the second drive. I remember talking about that. Outside of the second read flash that makes make the cuts. It's our offense scored. Again, everybody kind of hates Pro Football Focus, and I get it, but this is just a grade. 92.2 on average across the board. That's not regressing. That's not sucking. Pittsburgh, who averages 18 pressures a game, you know how many pressures they average this game? 3. Like, it only looks bad if you don't know what you're looking at. And I'm not suggesting that there weren't times. There were clear moments when they messed up. There was a short yardage play, and that happens. I think the problem is we'll see a clear moment, right? And then we'll say, that means the line sucks. But that's just one play out of over 80. I'm going to give you this free game. There's going to be 15 plays where players fuck up. 15 plays, somebody's going to win. It's very difficult. You're going backwards when a better athlete that's faster than you is going forward. We actually have a pretty big. Our problem is what I would like is some continuity. We move around. We haven't had guys be healthy yet. And even with the offensive line, even if I didn't have those stats to back the offensive line stats, no shitty offensive line is getting 500 yards of total offense. People say we don't play freshmen. Boy, did this freshman have a fucking day. Nothing better when the only thing better than having the only thing better than a D penetrating that's full is having a hussy with you. Conrad Hussey, freshman from St. Thomas Aquinas, had a day. 92.0 run defensive grade, 15.3 passer rating allowed. He had 1 catch on 3 targets allowed, 2 pass breakups, 1 interception, and 2 forced fumbles. That's a freshman. Everybody says we don't play freshmen, except for the good ones. Our freshmen play very, very well. And just as I say a lot in my video breakdowns, if the data and the film do not back what we think, then we must change our opinion based upon the information that is received. This is why I do the film breakdowns that most of y'all don't watch. I don't know if it doesn't. Can y'all tell me, does it not? I don't really need it to have 20,000 views and shit. Does it make you uncomfortable because I talk about it too easily? Because I could dumb it down, or I could start using the really big words like everybody else uses. But I think they're stupid when they do that, and it doesn't help. But I'm really trying to do this for y'all so that y'all can watch film and y'all can be better and like know what you're looking for. What up, Chris? All I'm trying to do is like when I'm breaking down the film, I'm literally just trying to make sure because I stupid people make my balls itch, right? And so when I read some of the comments, it chafes me, and then I think about it. It's my fault for not putting what's into the atmosphere, not atmosphere, into the universe what needs to be out there. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, we gotta put more. Yeah.
I seen the yellow mark. I was like, is he doing that?
The yellow.
Or was that just up there already? Like, were you able to underline where you need to go?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
What picture?
On one of the like thumbnails, they had like a picture of like as if you were.
Oh no! So that was great. You're talking about the Pitt breakdown.
Yeah.
So if you go back and you watch the Pitt breakdown, it was the guy was saying what they were doing, the commentator, and he was wrong. He was so wrong. Like he was like, here's what they do, and they block this way and they do this, and it was completely wrong. None of this stuff happened. I was like, this is what y'all listen to? I was like, this man literally said, well, here's a case where the guys they do a tando block, going to the left, and like, no, they were blocking to the right. What the fuck are you talking? What the hell is he talking about here? Right. That's what they do in the comments. But I love it though, because I just wish, oh man, if you ever want to just go down a rabbit hole, go to our YouTube comments. 7 months ago, I was Negro Damas. Miles, 7 months ago, I predicted the records of our rivals. And if things play out the way it is, I'm looking real good. I said Florida would be 5-7, and I said Miami would be I said Miami would be 6-6 or 7-5. They might not win the rest of their games. So right now they're 6-3, but they have Florida State, Louisville, and Boston College their last 3 games. Florida doesn't stand a snowball's chance in hell of being bowl eligible. They got Missouri, LSU. No, excuse me, they got LSU, Missouri, and then us. Them bitches quitting after these 2 ass whippings coming up right now. But also the other thing too about when I like to Riddick actually is I agree. Roddick or whatever his name could play better. I'm with you guys. But where I sit and watch games from, I'm watching either from the sideline or I'm all the way up in the box, and I have a different vantage point because I like to watch it. And I like watching film. I just really like football. And I told somebody, that's like the difference between me and you, I literally do this all day. But one more thing, War Chant always puts this thing up. It's FSU, no. War Chant put up, we opened it up as 2 touchdown favorites, actually plus 15 against Miami. I'll talk to you guys. I'll probably do 2 breakdowns of if I want to do it. But Jay Trav was 22 for 36, 360 passing yards, 1 pass touchdown, 1 rushing touchdown. He has thrown a touchdown in 21 straight games, the longest stretch since Jameis Winston. Megamind Ja'Kai Douglas had a career high 6 catches for 115 yards. The best thing about this game is we found a wide receiver that we didn't think would be good that did good. So now we have another weapon. Conrad Hussey earned his first career interception and forced a fumble that FSU recovered. The first Noah with multiple takeaways this season, forced and recovered a fumble versus Virginia Tech. Team highlights: FSU's defense has not allowed 30 points in the game this season. The 9-game streak is the longest active in the ACC and 4th longest in the country. FSU pushed its winning streak to 15 games, the longest in the ACC and tied for the 5th longest in program history. Guys, be happy. Let greatness come over you. Miami has been trying to lose every game this season. They should have lost to Clemson. They should have lost to Virginia. They should have beat Georgia Tech. But Miami did something that I thought was impossible. I didn't see them losing to NC State. They lost to NC State 20-6. And do you know what Miami fans do before they watch their own game? They were watching Florida State and they were cracking jokes. Florida State can't score 30 points on Pitt, but they think they're going to score 30 points on us. Ha, 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 ha. I tell people this. I'm jealous of them and their boldness. Our fan base is so dejected that they're trying to ease the pain so they can make friends with enemies. Like, I got news for you. They're not going to take it easy on you if we lose. If we lose to Miami, they're not going to say, you know what? You know what, Brianna? I remember you. You were gracious. You were humble. I shall not troll you. My good and faithful service. No, the motherfucker's gonna troll. That's what the fuck they do, guys. That's why the fuck they win. Like, at the end of the day, like, just we're gonna kick that ass. Miami only scored 6 points from 2 field goals. Miami's best player is their kicker. They talked about the Dyke all offseason. Like, we didn't remember what the Dyke was last year. They said there was injury. He came out smoking, had a great game against Bethune-Cookman. Bethune-Cookman, formerly known as the Florida Institute for Colored Girls. They beat them down. It was the first black women's college when things were not just segregated, they were sexist. They started off the game 3-0. That Jordan Poole threw a pass on MJ Morris, who ended up playing quarterback for them. MJ Morris was 11 for 21. This is what won. 11 for 21, 123 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Let's see what the Dykes numbers were. 21 for 38, 173 yards, 3 interceptions. That boy be out there like Oprah with cars. You get a pick, you get a pick, you get a pick, you get a pick. Let's just, you know what, for shits and giggles, let's just go through this shit. I'm curious. He had to do ball out against Virginia, right? All right, no, that's 2 games in a row. I know they didn't break 200 against Clemson. Make sure. No, it's 3 games in a row. Shit. All right. Maybe against North Carolina. They had to have done that against North Carolina, right? I think he was spinning that bean against North Carolina. Okay. Miami fan. Against Clemson, Virginia, and Miami. Against Clemson, Virginia, and North Carolina State. The University of Coral Gables has not thrown over 200. That has not thrown over 175 yards in a game. Now, that's not just the Dyke. It's Emory Williams. But I want you to see this. This is cool. This boy out here, they talk about how great Miami's are. See, I want you to see, watching this will make you enjoy our offensive line more. I want you to see what's going to happen when that Fuller strong starts penetrating fast. They just fall. Nobody touches him. He sees ghost. Dyke can't handle. Hey, man, listen, dog. Dykes can't handle D now. They cannot handle the D when it's penetrating hard.
Yo, that's crazy.
Like, it's just, we fall down. Like, I thought he was hurt, but he's not even hurt. He just fell. Like, when I saw that, I'm like, yo, he might not like the University of Miami. He might be a bad person. Miami turned the ball over 4 times, 1 fumble loss, 3 interceptions. They dominated time of possession. They did not get over 300 yards of total offense. That is not what I was looking for, though. I'm literally looking for, I want to see how many sacks were given up. Did NC State post that? Oh, they only got 3 sacks. 3 sacks, 4 tackles for loss against a defense that was just playing well above what they would do. This was a defensive battle. Fuller's going to whip that D out and smack the Dyke in the face. Fuller's going to be so disrespectful to the Dyke from Coral Gables that they're going to literally call the LGBTQ community and say that this is not right. Motivation Blueprint said, I didn't even know the Sugar Canes played this weekend. Played is a very suggestive word. There was a game that they attended and watched. But real talk, when you have no offense that you are really producing in the last 3 weeks and you're playing up against a defense that specializes in the pass. Now, they gave up 100 yards of rushing North Carolina State. Mark Fletcher got a bulk of the carries. But even then, they don't have the RPO feel. I don't know. We have some audio. Let's see what is the line ask? I told y'all he was a line ass Cuban, guys. Y'all got mad. They got mad at me. I see now why you guys are recruiting Judd Anderson. The kid who had the 1.15 to 1 touchdown to interception ratio. I'm going to show you guys. Oh, my bad. Let's play this. This is an interception. This is good. It's good stuff.
They're playing cover 2 with these safeties. The safety comes in here. This ball needs to go to.
So boom, drops back. Is anybody over? Oh, he got that right there in the end zone.
Oh.
Why does he throw there? Why didn't he throw the Poco? No, excuse me, the corner post, like right there. Throw it in the back of the end zone. Actually, the guy in the back, guy here at the bottom of the screen, let's run that back. Even Mario's like, "Yo, man, what are you seeing? Are you blind? Does the scholarship not cover this shit? Like cover vision works?" Oh, this film breakdown is gonna be good. I got to do 2 because this is a tale of 2 teams. Okay, now I see why you didn't take that guy. Was it 3rd down, maybe? I don't think he could do anything. I think Christ has definitely left him. Like, they say Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I don't think he could do that either. Like, that boy need an exorcist. But let's go check out the next thing. Let's see. These games like this makes you like, we've seen what Prime does. Prime throws his guys under the bus. We've seen what Narduzzi did when they lost. They got their asses whipped by Notre Dame. What does the lion-ass Cuban have to say about the things that are going on down there? Curious.
Quarterback.
Well, I think it's not just
Yeah, turn it up.
Offensively, there's things that we need to do. The passing game certainly hasn't been what it needs to be, especially so it's not just pointing a finger at Todd. I think offensively, there's things that we need to do better. The passing game certainly hasn't been what it needs to be, especially when we start the season in such a strong manner.
Let's pause real quick.
But it's tied into us being able to.
I don't know if y'all hear this. Is ours? Is the thing all the way up on ours? All right. So Mario Cristobal is a very passionate guy. He's Cuban. He's Hispanic, right? When they get passionate, bravado. This man is humble like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? My quarterback is ass. We haven't recruited one very good, and we got a bitch coming in. They got bent. He had to transfer. We got bench at the school he was at. Had to transfer to another school to sit the bench again. We don't have anything coming, guys. We don't have any. I don't know what to tell you. It's going to get better before. It's going to get worse before it gets better. But go ahead and push play. Anybody in the comments, y'all can translate this.
Sometimes the routes are covered, smother it a little bit. Sometimes protection's been fairly good for the most part. They brought a lot of zero blitz today, and then played a lot of coverage, drop 8. So it's a little bit of everything. A little bit of, we've got to coach it better. We've got to get our guys to perform better. We've got to design a couple of things that might help us see things a little bit more clearly. But
basically, he said help's not on the way. We got to design stuff better. We got to coach stuff better. We got to do some other things. You want to know one thing we can do better as a chat right now? There are 70 people in this chat right now. If we get to over 100, we will do a free giveaway. But I would like you guys to all take a pause for the calls real quick and go push that like button real quick. It doesn't hurt you. Push the like button. Just click it real quick for me. If you're not a member, if you're not a subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel. If by some magic formula we get 5,000 by Wednesday, we'll give away 2 pairs of tickets. Just want you guys to going out there. But man, this guy looks like he is not happy to be in Miami. This does not look like paradise for him. It looks like a nightmare. These losses couldn't happen to a better person. You know, that was so funny though. The interception is crazy, man. Like, that is maddening. Because as a coach, sometimes you just want to know what the fuck were they looking at. What's crazy about Miami fan base is they have these spaces that they go on for hours. Sometimes it's entertaining. Matter of fact, they might be having a space right now. No lie. They're having a space right now. Canes Unfiltered. My man, Big Groove, doesn't stand on business. He puts the last 5 coaches that Miami's had. First 21 games. It's a not overly fair assessment, but you can kind of get an idea. Mark Richt, who they ran out of town. Great coach. Mark Richt, 17-4 in his first 21 games. The only coach to take them to an ACC championship since they've been in. Now, they got their asses whooped, but he didn't get blown out. They got blown out, excuse me. He didn't get blanked. He kicked the field goal at the end, which I think was worse. The guy they hate, Manny Diaz. Manny Diaz, who looks like a crooked youth pastor, 14-7. Mario Cristobal, in his first 21, 11-10. Al Golden, 11-10. Randy Shannon, 11-10. First 21 games. First 22 games, we know for a fact Mario Cristobal will be 11-11. First 23 games, we know for a fact he'll be 11-12. First 24 games could be 11-13. You'll have a coach with a losing record. It's getting out of pocket, man. He doesn't know what to do. He looks very sad. But the cool thing is Tyler Van Dyke can come back. Well, who wouldn't want this guy to come back? Do you know Tyler Van Dyke in the last 4 games? He's thrown 5 touchdowns. He's thrown 10 interceptions, though. That is a 2-to-1 ratio, touchdown to interception ratio, which isn't bad. Excuse me, interception to touchdown ratio. 2-to-1 isn't bad touchdown to interception ratio. It's not optimal for what you want your quarterbacks to do. It's so bad that Miami, the thing that they hang their hat on is their recruiting. One of their top prize picks is a kid named Chance JoJo. JoJo went on a visit to Ole Miss, and he tweeted out the emoji where he's walking. He's like, I'm out of here. This is what he had to say about Lane, what Lane Kiffin told him on his visit. Coach Kiffin told me, if you want to be a draft pick, then you go to Ole Miss or Ohio State as a wide receiver. He was so straightforward about it, and I liked it. He said, if you're an offensive tackle, then you go to Miami. Coach Cristobal breeds O-linemen, but Ole Miss and Ohio State breed receivers. That is big for me. Coach Kiffin is such a chill coach. He's not glamorous. He's the same all the time and just keeps it real. Everything he was saying made sense. You know they don't like it. Like Cristobal doesn't like Lane. And it goes back to when they were both on the Alabama staff. Lane Kiffin is the guy that, well, his best friend's the drunk. So his best friend's the head coach of Texas, Sarkisian. Lane is the guy that is so good. He's a savant. So he'll be sleeping meetings. Everybody else is working. Saban don't say nothing to Lane. And Cristobal is that guy that we've all known that works real hard. To his defense, a lot of minorities are like this. You got to be 3 times better than everybody to get to the position that you're in. So, like, you don't like it, but he's Cuban, so he's white enough to not be like the normal Hispanics. So he feels like I could go to the coach and say this. And the story I heard, Saban says Lane. Lane's like, yeah, what up, coach? What do we have with this? Blah, blah, blah. Lane goes up to the board, bum, 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 answers every question that Saban has. Saban says, when you can do that, then you can go to fucking sleep in the meetings too.
Damn.
And so basically, Lane is telling him, you're not better than me at anything in fucking life. Mario. You can't coach better than me. You're not a better offensive mind than me. You're not a better recruiter than me. We got better. I can make better cafe con leche in Mississippi than you can in Cuba, in little Cuba. My girl makes better tostones are better than my daughters. Like he's telling them he's like literally going for every aspect of this man's manlyhood. It is wild. The leader of their fan base, a guy named Groove, talked a lot of shit all offseason. I love this. I love when I see people give up. Hey, yo, I'm going to keep it a buck. My FSU bets are off. I'm not betting on that bullshit. I'm sorry, fellas, but I'll be a fool to do so. My man said, you want to hear one of the greatest quotes from one of their spaces? Again, these spaces go on. I mean, Miles, like one day, dead the fuck serious, bro. Like, I might have to like get you like some kind of recording so we can like break down their spaces. But it's so long, I don't know if we have enough like data to do it. Like they're going now. Like I'm like, y'all people work. I get people listening, but it's not like it's one of the guys who leads one of the spaces that I was on last night is a guy who bet me the money for LSU. He doesn't bet on his own team, but he'll bet on other teams. I'm like, that's goofy, but whatever. First dude says, what team can we beat from here on out? Second dude, nobody. First dude, well, what about BC? Bitch, I said nobody. Like they were going in. One guy said everybody should transfer. Like it's crazy, man. It's wild, man. It's only one place where it's wilder. It's down in Hogtown. Oh, this is just, you know what? This is one of the things I always say. God doesn't like me if he or she is there, or the alien or whoever doesn't like me and didn't like to let everything go right for me in one weekend, right? I couldn't have Florida State cover and beat the fuck out of Pitt and Miami and Florida lose. Like that had just been when people say God know my heart, like he knows, he knows. But for those who don't know, Florida lost to a 2-win Arkansas team. Well, now they're 3 wins, no longer 2 wins. And this is the problem with Florida fans. Is Florida fans have nobody who can keep it real with them. They have one guy who's a talking head, who talks shit when games haven't been played, and then it says games will eventually be played. That's Auntie Lennon. That's what we've called her all over the time. And then when they're losing, he'll tell you, go get you some vices, go touch grass, go do some stuff. Then it's the thing that never falls. Like it's a young, you know what? It's not even young. It was what we used to as 90s babies. Those who were really like, I was born in the 80s, but I'm a 90s kid. That's when I was raised in the 90s. And our fallback is, I got more money than you. Or I got more bitches than you. I got more this. I got more that. And can we really measure it? And does that take away the pain of losing? Like none of that changes anything. You still lost to a 2-win team. So like they'll go into these things. It's not like Quez. Quez did his shit. Like Quez is like, shut the fuck up, stop crying, right? But here's what happened. I told you guys. I told you guys 7 months ago. I think we read some of the comments, didn't we too? 7 months ago, I told you guys that this was fraudulent. Before we get into that, so that's the black guy that does all the stuff with the big fruit roll up. But your old stalwarts they have nothing. Like if the Stewart, this is RJ Saunders. Are you still in here? Need to know if RJ's still in the chat. RJ, let it be known if you're in the chat, sir, because I need you to hear this. And if you would like to, you can relay these messages to the people at the station in which you work. I hope RJ's in here still. Matter of fact, if you aren't, because RJ actually works for this guy now. You could actually play this, put the speaker on, RJ, if you will, if you would. Frank Frangie, the king of the 1010XL kingdom, covering Gators for a long time. You know, they said Florida State wasn't even a playoff contender. Talked so much shit about Florida State when there was nothing to talk shit about. Every year, Florida's going to win. Every year, the Jags are going to win. Pumping sunshine over there. But this is what he said. And I'm going to get into why this is all full of shit and why this guy is fucking falling Gators. UF postgame thread. Lots of thoughts by Frank Frangie. First, Napier isn't getting fired, nor should he. Believe he's building very good roster that will make games like this less likely. His eye for talent and ability to attract it is legit. We've already seen that. It also appears clear he isn't a great game day coach. Offensive play calling lacks imagination. Poor usage. Should I break down what's wrong with each one of these blocks? So I'm going to go back to the first one. My bad. I apologize. I'm going to go back to the first one. What the fuck is wrong with Frank Frangie and his thought process? This is why I say some of y'all need to be freed from who you think about and who you get your information from. This is old white man afraid to tell the truth. Tell the truth. Now, Billy ain't getting fired. He's right. And I don't think you fire a coach after 2 years. You got to give him 3. Believe he's building a very good roster that will make games like this less likely. Here's the problem with that. Dan Mullen came in and won with a shitty roster. Florida won 4 games before Dan Mullen came in. You know what they won the year 1? With Dan Mullen, 10. Dan Mullen won and people ran him off because they didn't feel like he recruited enough. No matter what you feel, there's enough talent on this roster to be the 2-fucking-win Arkansas team. If he can't beat a 2-win Arkansas team with this amount of talent, what makes you think you will consistently win when he gets greater talent? You're not beating Georgia anytime soon. It's not even close. You can't beat Arkansas. I'm not talking about, like, it didn't going into this. It also clear he isn't a great game day coach. Agreed. Offensive play calling lacks imagination. Here's what I'm going to show you. I'm going to tell you this, Miles. Anybody else in the comments, y'all tell me what y'all feel about this, because I think this is a bullshit-ass excuse. Because the reality of the situation is they scored a lot of fucking points on offense. And I'm going to tell you who the problem is, and y'all got mad at me because I told you who the problem was, and y'all said that I don't fucking know football. And that anybody should be able to understand him because he's speaking porky pig, fat ass motherfucker. You should be able to understand him if you know football. The game was 39-36. That was the score in OT. But in regulation, it was 33-33. You scored 33 American football points. You scored enough. You had enough offense to win that game. That's not on your offense. You put up 309, almost 400 yards of total offense, 282 yards of passing, 112 yards of rushing, 7 penalties. You control time of possession. You dominated offensively a bad 2-win team like you should have done. Here's what you did not do. You gave up 481 yards of total offense to Arkansas, 255 in the air. You got fucking mudded on the ground, 226 yards rushing, averaging 4.8 yards a carry and 8.2 yards per pass. That's what lost you the game. It wasn't your offense. It wasn't him being a bad game day coach. It was your guy not being able to stop it, not being able to pinch a bitch, just like Kentucky. Here's what your cosplay Kirby, the guy that y'all said, oh, well, he knows what he's talking about with a multiple in the front end, multiple in the back end. We got a she shed. We got shut your fat ass up. Here's what he done. 39, 43, 39, 33, and 24. 5 of your games, you have given up the booty. What did Georgia do? I'm curious now. How many yards did Georgia get? 481 to Arkansas. 486 to Georgia. Let's get to South Carolina. 465 to South Carolina. Kentucky's still running the ball. Okay, just under 400 for Kentucky. Progress. The only team with a pulse that he's actually stopped was Tennessee, and I think Tennessee's was more idiot. Was more them being stupid. Your defensive coordinator isn't good at anything. And that's what I said 7 months ago. You stand for nothing. You have no identity on offense. You have no identity on defense. And instead of saying that and telling the truth, what you're saying is you're blaming somebody because it's convenient to go and blame the offense. Hell, at least Florida State fans would say fire Fuller. We want to fire Fuller after everything. This is clearly he's not any good. But the crazy part is you fell in love with him last year. He was a middle-of-the-pack defensive coordinator for Southern Miss. Literally, statistically, he was in the middle of the pack. And then all of a sudden, he's going to come there. He's like, well, better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. We're going to bring him over here. He's got better pieces, so he should be better than he was at Southern Miss, except for he's proving to you what he was. He's a young, know-it-all coach that doesn't know a goddamn thing. You're going to get mudded by Missouri. You're going to get mudded by LSU. You're going to get mudded by Florida State. So what is going to happen is 8 games, because he's got 5 right now where you've given up all them goddamn points. Actually, you know what? Scoot it back. 4 games where you've given up almost 40 points. Let's go over 30 points. 4 games over 30 points given. You're going to probably have 7 games where you've given over 30 points. In fairness, teams that are outmanned often look poorly coached because good players can blow up good ideas, but there's too much obvious bad. The problem with this statement is Arkansas is not a good team. He obviously has to change some stuff this offseason. Key question is, will he? He needs an OC and a full-time special teams coordinator. Bitch, he needs all 3 coordinators. Coaches are stubborn. Not sure he'll ever have the knack the great ones have on the sideline, but will he be open-minded to possible changes? That's so critical. In the meantime, can he keep this unreal class together? That is the biggest question of all. All I want to know is I don't necessarily think DJ Lagway is that great, but I do know this. If I am DJ Lagway's parents, I'm not sending my son to this dumpster fire because I care about him. Oh, shit. They just announced the trap game. Now I'm with Chip. Northern Alabama. I'm a little nervous about that game. They're putting us on the fucking CW. Yo, tonight on the CW, Flash at 12 o'clock. At 2 o'clock, Superman Returns. 6:30, Florida State versus Northern Alabama, followed by the Gilmore Girls and Moesha. And a Parker's Marathon. What's the Charmed. I fucking hate the CW. Nothing good happens for the ranked team on the CW. They're trying to stop us from the playoffs the only way they can. Bottom line, Frank is full of shit. They stink. Gator Dave. Gator Dave put the first time play caller. That's what's wild. Okay, so can I? Oh, imagine firing your offensive coordinator. This is his first game. It never gets any better than this. Arkansas, that was the first game he called. He got 481 yards. Put that picture up. That's my guy. He knows who he is. He's helping us out with the Gator tailgate if we're going to have one. This is how every Florida Gator fan should be looking right now. When I read the Frank Frangie tweets for Gator fans, that was my face. My guy has he raises pits and shit. Like it's funny. He's a good guy. Smells like shit. Gainesville, go east till you smell it, and south till you step in it. That's basically what they say. First time play caller gave up them, like you got your butt ruined. But just for shits and giggles. You know, everybody tried to say that TVD was the best player in the big three. He's at least thrown for over 2,000 yards, 16 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. No rushing yards, one rushing touchdown. They called him Murder Mertz. He's thrown for 2,400 yards passing, 17 touchdowns. He's only thrown 2 interceptions. 5 wins. Negative 94 yards rushing, though, but 3 rushing touchdowns. J-Trav, 2,469 yards passing, 19 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 190 yards rushing, 7 touchdowns. Clearly, J-Trav is that dude. But you want to know what's so funny about, again, this is my last, I'm done picking on Porky Pig cosplaying as Kirby Smart. It's got a great, like, smooth double chin. Like, it's amazing. But you ever, like, met somebody, like, you see somebody and, like, they're famous, or you know somebody, kind of, you want to go over there and talk to them, and then they act like they don't even know who the fuck you are? Imagine watching film all week on a guy, and he just made you live your nightmare. KJ Jefferson got congratulated by Cosplay Kirby. If you can play that video, I want y'all to see. And I want you guys, we got to slow it down 2 miles if we can. Because you got to be able to read the kid's lips. It's amazing. It's that video right there. All right. God damn, it's small, huh? Well, we'll put it in the. I'm probably gonna take some of these plays, put them in the comment, and not comment, excuse me. You'll be able to check it out. But just push, for those who are wondering, you can push play. And Cosplay Kirby goes over and congratulates the hero of the game from Arkansas, KJ Jefferson. Grabs him, tells him congratulations. And he says, "Who was that?" The defensive coordinator, Cosplay Kirby, comes and shakes his hands, tells him good game. And he looks at his friends like, "What kid is that?" Like, that's the ultimate sunning. Like, dude doesn't even know who you are. NCAA got one thing right, finally. The transfer portal is getting out of hand. Memphis, the NCAA has denied Memphis star DeAndre Williams waiver for another season of eligibility. The 27-year-old Williams averaged 14 points and 7 rebounds playing against I-9 league competition. But basically, if you just click on mine, it literally, this is what sums it up. This is what the NCAA should have told Miami's tight end. This is what they should tell a lot of people right here. And this is the greatest advice that I could give anybody who's still trying to chase dreams of the NFL or NCAA, and you're damn near 30.
Don't listen to me. I want you to get your ass up today, go out and look for a job. The word today is job. J-O-B. You hear me? Yeah. Go look for a job.
That's what the NCAA told him. All right. So, damn, I want to get into so much more, but we got to get on Prime real quick, only because it worked for Arkansas. Arkansas fired their offensive coordinator. They put up 481 yards of total offense. Prime demoted his offensive coordinator and upgraded the guy who he had on that was a head coach at Kent State. Really good OC, actually. But hasn't been doing very, very well as of late. Demoted him, and it's not the end of the world, but like it wasn't great. But he promoted a guy who had NFL head coaching experience. For those who are keeping track, they've lost a lot of games. They had a spark when they started, but now they're just garbage. You guys know I love that statement. Prime has done some things very well. He's got an uphill battle right now, and Shadur Sanders is getting destroyed every week. And honestly, their defense, everybody's blaming Kelly, but their defense has been playing way better. They got a good win over Colorado. They beat Colorado and Nebraska. Nobody thought that they were going to win those games. They snuck one out against Colorado State in the game they should have lost. Played Oregon, ass whooping. Played USC close. Arizona State should have blown them out. Didn't. Lost to Stanford, which you should have blown out. Now, nobody's afraid of you anymore. You lost to UCLA, who did not do very well offensively, and you lost to Oregon State by trying to make things better. Oh, never mind. I apologize. Oregon State beat the fuck out of you. They just didn't score points. They blame everybody. So remember last week, Prime said his offensive line, he's going to address it in the portal.
Have you seen that clip went off?
Yeah, he was wilding.
No, I mean on our real.
Oh, well, yeah, it's everything with Prime, and I'm probably all kinds of coons and hating on them and all that kind of shit. It's bad. I just try not to look at those. I'm just not finna fuck with I'm not going to personally fuck up my happiness by going in there. Because I know I can't. If I respond, they're not gonna respond. Yeah.
Never played football. Why does he?
Yeah.
I looked him up. He's a FSU fan. He's never played the game.
You looked me up and I'm a FSU. That's so fucking disrespectful. That's so fucked up, man. You researched me and still didn't get it right. How the fuck do we do this? Oh, man, that hurts. They're going to really hate this one when you clip this, though. So, my boy Chuck Hobbs, I love him to death. And I love people to death. They are going to defend Deion with all their honor. This is not Deion's team. It's not Deion's fault that blah, blah, blah is happening. Okay. One could say that, right? Because he just got there. But one would be wrong. Deion has 10 offensive linemen that suit up for every game. 7 of them are transfers. I believe he has on his 60 deep. That's basically the amount of guys that play in the game. 53 are transfers. He picked them motherfuckers. So don't quote, I don't have the numbers right, but it's a significant amount of transfers. Now, I said maybe and they'll tell you, their staff, what's wild is I know people on their staff, will tell you that, man, we probably should have did a better job of evaluating what was here. We didn't need to run everybody off. One of the starters that you ran off starts at UCLA, who just beat them. The other starter, Roddick, starts at Florida State. You mean to tell me that maybe those 2 guys wouldn't have made that offensive line just a smidget better? 3 of your starters are transfers. They're not any good, but that's not what I'm wilding on Deion for. The fan base is very perceptive. Colorado lost. Barstool Bleacher Report puts Colorado has lost 3 straight, dropping 4 and 5. My boy Big No puts Prime not even wearing his shades anymore. The admin was probably like, take them goddamn sunglasses off your face and coach the damn game. And when you notice it, when Prime was winning, he was ripping the fuck out of them blenders. Blender shades was going to show. He's not wearing them. But then what made this even funnier was the next one. If you go down one more tweet, is basically this is what my guy said that you gotta go to the notebook. But my guy said the admin said to Dion to prom. This is hilarious.
And take them goddamn sunglasses off. Take the goddamn sunglasses off. And take them goddamn sunglasses.
It's just prom is prom. They'll be fine, or they won't. Either way, there's nothing to me. God damn, they said they researched me. I'm not playing any goddamn football.
And I try to be like, it's not actual because they like, oh, he hates. They will always try to harp on one word. He hates prime. It's just another black person hating on another black person. I'm like, y'all, it's tongue in cheek. First of all, nobody hates anything. You can tell by the way he says it, but people are gonna do what they want to do.
I'm not like Prime left the blackest place in America. Like, don't tell me about hating black people. Like, ain't very few cities blacker than Jackson. He left like that Keenan skit was the greatest thing. He left the blackest place in America to literally go to the whitest place in America. So white that it snows.
Even, why don't you stop hating on Prime and actually go do something in your community instead of hating on other black? Yeah, get those two.
Yeah, shit. They really didn't do their research.
This is the one you clicked on. You got all that.
It's a whole video that unfortunately nobody watches. That's the fucked up part. Nobody watches the cool shit. Like I be doing this badass like people be being a dick. They're gonna crush that in the reels. The blind kid doesn't get any fucking love. Book bad driving the hood? Nah, fuck that. We didn't come to see that. We came to hear bad takes. That's what we came to hear. At least they didn't quiz me yet. At least I didn't play. Okay, well, cool. Because God forbid they try to compare my stats with Dion.
Yeah,
shit,
I know.
that's worse. That's gonna be worse, man. Dion.
They're gonna just move the goalposts. He didn't play. Oh, he was just washed.
I remember one time a Miami fan was like, "Look at his stats. You didn't even run for that much, bitch. I was a fucking fullback. Of course I didn't run. And did you see who was in my backfield? Like I don't." I'm shocked that Florida State fans even know who the fuck I am. I know I scored a couple good touchdowns. I ain't even gonna hold you on that. But and I hit a lot of people. But god damn, boy, it is some. I don't go around like when Pete called me, I'd be like, damn. That's why I answer the phone because one day Pete's gonna wake up and be like, why the fuck am I hanging out with this motherfucker when I'm fucking Peter Ward? I'm the GOAT.
The one that offends me is some people don't deserve a podcast. I'm like, nigga,
everybody like all you need is a phone.
Yeah,
like, have you heard the worst? Like, deserve, like it's like that just lets me know that the problem is anybody with a microphone in their face, it automatically looks like you should be a professional. Like, you shouldn't talk like that. What if fuck that? Okay, I don't give a shit. All right. I'll do this if nobody. Remember, one person was like, I was saying about fans, what if nobody, don't you want people to listen to your show? I would love for you to listen to my show, but I'm not going to bend over for you to listen to my show. Like, if you don't listen to them, still going to get the same amount of money, man, for the most part. I'll say this, though. Football and women and the women's new liberation is amazing. Check out this NFL game. Oh, now, what is that? What I was in with Brent Murphy? Oh, that was me talking about the guy getting fired. Fuck it. We're past that. Fuck it. This is what's gonna go viral. If you take the clip with the guy, what my guy said, take the goddamn glasses off and then put that on there. Oh, they're gonna hate. I'm for that. That's gonna get over 20,000 views eventually. They're gonna love that one. They're gonna treat me like I treat RJ Young when it comes to Dion. Oh man. I haven't even looked at the one on IG. That's crazy. But if you go to the NFL, we're not even gonna go into all of this. We're gonna go into a couple of these things. It's just cool stuff. I'm sorry. I feel I've never been. I'm not racist at all. Even though some people love to act like I'm. I'm actually either the worst black man in the world, or I'm racist as fuck. Depending on which comments you look. But this white man just figured out Black Lives Matter.
I love they can't do that. Wow. What game?
This is the Raiders.
Raiders, man? Oh,
Las Vegas is lit. I got to get to a Raiders game. But this is why Black movement been popping since the first one came over here. They just look so much different than everything else. Look at this thickness. And just look at my guy. It's not fair that some people get free lap dancing.
Bend that ass over. Let that coochie
Right there, look at that. Like right on his head. And then he just turns over. I got look at that. He is just, I mean, his day just got better. I mean, he lost a lot at the roulette table. And then he just turns over and wow, boom, just shaking right there in his ass. That is definitely how you show your worth.
twerk something, make a nigga day.
That's
all you got to do.
I mean, listen, man. There's a guy right now that is that man like that. I saw somebody. It's a thing that keeps popping up on like IG or something. Send a man some nudes. He's sad today. Send him an ass pic. And this guy was sad, and then he saw this, and it just made his day.
He's telling his friends,
like them, that couple that got the sideline passes. like Bob, you're never gonna believe this. Sharika is just sitting here shaking her ass right here in my face. Oh man, it smells like peaches. I almost bit it. I don't know. It's above Adrian put. Hopefully she's fresh. I don't know, man. She got them bottoms in there. They block out the odor, but it seals it in there now. After the game, she probably smelled like a whole market. Oh, like imagine you just sitting. What if it feels like me? I like to lean back in games. You just minding your business, leaning back, and then your head's in between some cheeks. Some people, you know what? I bet you, I'm not. You know what? When you have your head in between some cheeks, you know what he wasn't complaining about? The score of the Las Vegas Raiders game. He wasn't over here complaining about, like, if some of you guys would go to these Florida State games and you had something like this happening to you, you wouldn't give a damn about what the score was. You would be loving your life. You know what? I promise you, his estrogen levels were not low and his testosterone levels were elevated at that point. That was funny.
I'll be at a couple of Jags games if anybody wants.
It ain't happening like that, man. Shout out to Josh Dobbs for winning. Just got over there. I have Josh Dobbs. I didn't even know he got traded to the Vikings from Arizona, but he goes in and just wins. He didn't even know where to go after the game. Like, he came in late. Like, they were just like, they cheered him on and shit. I'm gonna take this chance. Hopefully Antonio Pierce obviously got women up in the stands doing this. So the culture is changing for the Raiders. They won. They had victory cigars. If Antonio Pierce wins, I hope that they give him a chance to become the next head coach during the regular season. Unlike what the Carolina Panthers did. Carolina Panthers are now 1-7. Last season, they fired Matt Rule after going 1-4 and promoted Steve Wilkes, who led them to a 6-6 record, 7-10 overall, and they actually were in contention to make the playoffs for a while. But owner David Tepper chose Frank Wright, who as the head coach, who was the head coach for the Colts and was sucking there. And he is now 4-12-1 over 2 years with the Colts and the Panthers. The mistake was you actually saw a guy have on-the-job training, and you didn't give him a chance. You went for a very, very lazy pick. I got to get my homegirl Sheena on to talk about what her thoughts are. But actually, this show, the last clip I'll leave you guys with. This is what it's like for the Las Vegas Raiders. We saw what it was like in the stands. This is what it's like with them after the win. They fired Josh McDaniels. They didn't. These weren't victory cigars. This was that Josh. They're smoking that Josh McDaniels pack. It's the last. Yeah, that one right there. They put that Josh McDaniels pack up in the air and just flourished. You can't smoke in the state. Definitely. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this because the rebroad is definitely going to be way different. It's going to be a lot of shit I got to take out. Actually, you know what? I'll probably leave it because it's all good. We're not getting paid on that. But appreciate everybody coming. On your way out, make sure you push the like button. Remember, Wednesday show is when we give away. We're going to give away a pair of tickets to the FSU game, November 11th, 3:30 on ABC. Get a chance to be seen. Enjoy the game, all that different stuff. Today, give me about an hour. I will post the StreamYard link in the community for members so that you guys can go watch. We can do a breakdown of the game, and then we'll post it up at 6:00. For anybody who has questions and wants to watch it live as I break it down live, it'll be there. Bring any questions that you have, any concerns or comments that you have about that. It'll be available though for anybody who is not a member or does not have time to come watch it with me live. It'll be available at 6 p.m. So appreciate you guys for chopping it up with me. Until Wednesday, we will see you guys next time.